Welcome to the wonderful world of travel. I'm Jon Haggins. I'm here in Czech Republic, Prague, the capital. I'm standing on this beautiful bridge, and behind me are these old buildings. I'm going to the old town, and all of this was hidden behind the Iron Curtain until 1989 when it was finally set free. I love it here. I can't wait to share this with you. Stay tuned. Frank Gehry mixes the modern with lots of Baroque buildings. The towns in Czech Republic have freshened up with fresh paint since the Iron Curtain was lifted in 1989. I'm sitting here on the most famous bridge in all of Prague. Prague is a very special destination because it's a metropolis where everyone congregates. They come here for the music, they come here to socialize, they come here for the artisans.
13579 7531, and in this regular row of numbers you should see the whole date, including time, which was recommended to lay the foundation stone of the Charles Bridge. 1357, it was the year 1357. Then 9 and 7 back, it was 9 of July. And 531, 5 o'clock 31 minutes. And we know that Charles IV, he loved this idea, and he really started to build a bridge according to this. So the bridge was founded, or the foundation stone was laid in the early morning, 5:31, 6th of July in 1357. Originally, of course, the bridge was without the sculptures which you can see now around us. It was a simple bridge, there was one cross in the middle. All the sculptures, they were placed here since the end of the 17th century and mainly in the 18th century. There are altogether 30 sculptures, like a gallery, open-air gallery of 30 sculptures. They are in Baroque style, made by Baroque masters like Jekyll Brown. The most popular is just the statue of St. John Nepomuk, which I already mentioned in Prague Castle. Maybe you remember that man who was thrown down to the river after the torture. And his statue you can see just over there. It's the only which has a green color after the oxidation, because it's the only metal statue here. All other statues, 29 statues, are made of sandstone. This is the only one which is made of metal. That's why the green color after the oxidation. And you see many people touch it for luck. Every city has something like that.
I'm here in Prague, which is the capital of the Czech Republic. This is a very special destination because back in 1989 it was finally freed from the Iron Curtain. But you know what's incredible is the fact that we can come today, whereas years ago we couldn't. And what I see is the wonderful old buildings, the historic sites. This is a treasure that everyone should share.
That's why the Easter market already started. This Old Town Square is seldom empty. The ghetto was completely rebuilt after the reforms of Joseph II. Joseph II was son of Maria Theresa and emperor of big reforms for the whole population, including Jewish population. He was very much appreciated by Jewish population. That's why sometimes the Jewish quarter of Prague is called Josephov. It's just after Joseph II, who reigned between 1780 and 1790. So from his time, after his reforms, Jews could leave the ghetto and settle out of the ghetto anywhere. So they began to leave the ghetto. First rich Jews, then other ones. Finally, in about 100 years, at the end of the 19th century, only about 1/5 of the whole population in the ghetto were Jews. And the rest were the poor of Prague, thieves, prostitutes, anybody because the ghetto was the place of empty houses which were left by rich Jews before. As the rich Jews left, they didn't pay for the ghetto anymore, and the ghetto was really the poor place without electricity, without suitable sewerage system, and came to hygienic collapse. That's why the whole quarter was rebuilt. So the buildings are from the beginning of the 20th century. Nowadays, we can't say that it would be Jewish quarter in sense that only Jewish population would live here. It was still the time of Habsburgs. Yes, Habsburgs were German-speaking, and Jews had to have good relationship to them, to this leading society. That's why their children got usually German education. And Franz Kafka was one of these people who was born in Prague, could speak Czech. He spoke Czech a little bit. He was even able to write something in Czech, but only letters, something private. But everything what he wrote as a literature, it was in German. That's why this group of writers is called Group of Prague, German Jewish writers.
Kafka, Franz Kafka, he was born where? In this house.
In this house.
Okay.
There is also a small exhibition dedicated to him, but there is also a very big museum of Kafka, new museum of Kafka on the other side of the river. You could see.
In my book, The African American Travel Guide, I show you where to get a passport, where to get a visa, where to exchange money, because that's very important when you're traveling. The second part is all about these great destinations around the world, such as Egypt, the land of the pharaohs, going through the souks in Morocco, and then follow the drum and the aromas into Brazil, Ecuador, Uruguay, and then, of course, the idyllic islands of the Caribbean, and you cannot miss the palm-dotted islands of Fiji. You will end the book with a smile. This is Prague, and it's a very special destination. It's the capital of the Czech Republic, and I am so delighted to be here and to share this with you. So stay tuned. The Crown Plaza Hotel is the largest hotel in Prague.
We are here in Virohradsky Cemetery in Prague. This is really a wonderful, spectacular cemetery, even beautiful. And I say beautiful because here in Czech Republic everything really is beautiful. We are here in front of the first lady of the auto racing history all over the world. Her name, Elizabeth Junova. She was the first really lady in the automobile industry and also a sport car competition all over the world. She used to race for the French team Bugatti in the 20s and 30s. And her husband also, she raced for the same team. It's a coincidence that both are buried here in this place. First, her husband died in a crash in the Nürburgring in Germany, and for that particular reason, Elizabeth decided to finish his career in auto racing. But no, after accomplished a lot of wins all over the world, including one of the most difficult targets, a race in Targa Florio in Italy, where she raced there again for the Bugatti team, and she was in third place in a competition against the best driver of those years. I'm talking about Dacio Nuvolari, the great master from Italy, Rudolf Caracciola, who raced for Mercedes-Benz from Germany, and so on. For me, as a racer, she is the first lady in the auto racing and the international competition, and also an honor to be member of the famous Bugatti racing team. She was almost winning the race in Targa Florio, that was 1928, but a huge big rock fall from the mountains and she has to avoid crash, but even that she managed to finish the race in third place. This is, for me, one of the most spectacular accomplishments for a lady, especially in those years, 1928.
A popular destination in Prague is the grounds of the Royal Palace. You know, most people, when they come to Czech, they think of Prague, and Prague is a great city. However, we're in Moravia, and Moravia has so much history. There are so many castles. I'm standing in this great square where you'll see these incredible cathedrals and also the great cafes and wonderful things for people to do. There's so much activity here, activities that you can participate and have great fun doing.
This basilica is the most important pilgrim place in the whole Czech Republic. The small village is called Velehrad, which means something like a great castle, and the village itself was founded in the 13th century, and it was connected with the foundation of the monastery of Cistercians here, yeah. So they founded a small church here originally, and then later it was rebuilt in the Baroque style into such a beautiful basilica, and it became the most famous place of pilgrims. Later it was taken over by Jesuits. Jesuits were expelled from here, so it became a property of Cistercians again after the Velvet Revolution.
Let me invite you into the Czech Republic, into the best part of Czech Republic, Moravia, which is popular through these folk traditions, culture, huge nature. People visiting Slovácko area can walk through ancient cities and historic monuments. They can do bicycle trips around the water channel, the historic water channel, and they can see a lot of attractivities here in this area. This is the northern part of wine growing area in Europe, and here you can find different kinds of grapes and wines, like Welsh Riesling, Chardonnay.
Yeah, so Central Moravia, it's part of the Moravia. Capital city of this region, it's Olomouc, very well known, famous for UNESCO monuments and other things. I think what you can expect here, it's especially about the culture, folklore, about the sports activities, rafting, cycling.
Czech cuisine is so appetizing. This is one of the vintage cars from before the Iron Curtain was lifted. Did you know that there are more than 2,000 palaces and castles throughout the Czech Republic?
The Russian billiard table was especially made for the Russian Tsar Alexander III, and the balls are from ivory. Private and infrequent visitors. But I mean, it's special for private visitors. It's furnished with a set of beautiful white furniture in Rococo style, and all our rooms are furnished in the last Baroque or Rococo style. Balcony floor is 300 years old, and it's from different kinds of wood.
The interior is so opulent from a time gone by.
It's a lullaby.
This formal garden leads to the rotunda. A collection of busts are placed on top of each column. There are statues everywhere, even on the pinnacle of the fountain.
We are at Rožnov pod Radhoštěm, and it's the open air museum, and it's in Moravia.
The oldest buildings, and the first one which was taken here, removed here, is the town hall of the city Rožnov from 1770, and you can see it over there with a little balcony. Next to it on the right side, a little bit behind, there is the second building which was removed from the square, and it's a quite a large luxury building that belonged to the middle class of that time. The last building which was constructed here as a replica is over there behind you. You can see the light one, and it serves here as a pub, but in reality on the square of Rožnov in the past it wasn't pub but normal house for people where they could live.
leta zdraví byli, mnoga leta živí, mnoga leta zdraví byli, mnoga leta živí, živí,
That's good. That's good. That's good.
And do I have to drink all of this at one time?
Yes, yes, you should. So, John, you promise you will follow all the rules, obligations, and wise Valachian sayings I read here?
Yeah, and I will come back again.
Okay, thank you very much. So I will grant you the citizenship of the Valachian kingdom. Yes.
Jawohl.
Music, please. Yes.
Music and drink and drink.
Now can I get up? There are many pottery factories where everything is meticulously hand-painted. Another tradition is elaborate paintings on Easter eggs. This is a traditional Czech costume. There are many small villages and towns in Moravia with colorful buildings and great architecture. Did you know that the Czech Republic produces some of the finest wines in the world?
It served the wine in it. It served also as a kind of taxes to nobility or to the town hall of the city. They gave taxes or paid taxes in a form of wine. We can see here the second largest barrel in the Central Europe. The first largest is in Heidelberg in Germany. This one is from 1674 and it takes some 1,014 hectoliters.
This is a demonstration of the creation of ceramics, from the clay to the painting of each item individually. The Liechtenstein Arch of Triumph was built in 1812, and to my surprise, the interior featured a ballroom. Chateau Valtis has a wine cellar, and the wine cellars were once controlled by all the bishops. This is an old-fashioned train ride through the countryside.
Canal was to transport lignite and brown coal from the south of Moravia to the factories of Tomáš Baťa on the north. Since about 10 years ago, there are many new possibilities for tourists. You can either rent a bigger boat like this one for the group of friends, or you can have individual small boats.
Now I'm relaxing with new friends and taking a casual ride on the canal. I'm sitting here on the most famous bridge in all of Prague, and Prague is the metropolis with lots of people that come from around the world. They're artisans, they're musicians, they're people who are really exciting. They congregate. We also had the experience of going to Moravia, and in Moravia we had wine tastings. We visited the castles, great castles, beautiful castles. And then we also went through the caves and the beautiful hotels and the great quaint cities in Moravia. This has been an eye-opening experience. Until next week, I'm Jon Haggins at GlobeTrotter. I hope to see you then. Remember, get up, get out, and travel.